One of the biggest mistakes that I made early on as a coach, I've been life coaching for coming up on 11 years now. And when I first started, I was so focused on developing good habits, developing, setting goals and working towards setting smart goals or working to achieving your goals. And it was very cut and dry. Hey, this is what you want to accomplish. This is what we need to do in order to make it happen. And a small percentage of clients, maybe not even that small, I'd say maybe a third of my clients really struggle with breaking through and being able to accomplish what they want out of life. And whether that's relationships, finding a new job, taking risks, getting their health in order, dialing in their finances. And we as a society tend to focus primarily on symptoms. Hey, if you are struggling with your diet and nutrition, then you need to remove all junk food from your home or apartment, so it's not available to you. Make it difficult to access. And with a lot of clients, that will work. But like I said, about a third of my clients, they might do it for a couple weeks, they might do it for a month, but then they go back to old ways and old habit patterns. Or clients might want to build relationships and develop social connections and have a girlfriend or have a boyfriend. And they'll really struggle with socializing because they fear that rejection, they fear of failing, they fear of not being good enough. And we could set some goals. Well, go to meetups or go to social events or do XYZ, and there will be a massive amount of resistance. And the question that I've always asked myself, why is it that certain clients really struggle with staying consistent with their goals and habits or breaking through and accomplishing what they want out of life? And I started realizing that there's deeper underlying issues that prevent them from accomplishing what they want. And we all have different sub-personalities, different parts of our personality that serves a function. And if you ever seen the movie, I just forgot the name of the movie. Someone could put the comment in the name of the movie in the description. It's a Disney movie, and the character has 5 different personalities that are kind of like pulling the strings and influencing her behavior. And that's the way we are. We have sub-personalities. We have different parts of our being that, like I said, influence our behavior. And a lot of that gets developed, those sub-personalities get developed and formed. Oh, the movie is Inside Out. A lot of those sub-personalities get formed at a very young age. And they are designed to protect us, to keep us safe, to prevent us from feeling pain of rejection or failure or not being good enough. And it might work as a strategy when we're younger and we don't have all the capabilities, the confidence, the independence, the authority to break out of that mold. But as we get older, we tend to carry over those old personality traits that no longer serve us. Not only do they no longer serve us, but they actually do us harm and prevent us from accomplishing what we want out of life. And if you have grown up and you were either bullied or you came from a dysfunctional family that you never felt that you were good enough, or you were the black sheep and always felt like an outsider and you weren't accepted by the group or by your peers, or you were judged or you're criticized or you're overweight. There's many different variables that can create this sub-personality to form. And it realizes that getting social rejection is very painful. it's oftentimes more painful than physical pain. And I've even read studies where they will give people aspirin or ibuprofen, and that will help them to be more able to be social and put themselves in socially uncomfortable situations because it numbs that pain. And that subpersonality thinks it's doing you a favor. It thinks it is protecting you. It says, oh, growing up and being teased and bullied and not being accepted is really, really hard and difficult. And I'm going to be your knight in shining armor. I'm going to prevent that from happening to you. And what it does, it creates barriers or walls from basically a wall, like a brick wall, from having that same experience that you had when you were growing up. No, it doesn't allow anybody in, and it says, I'm protecting you, I'm keeping you safe. And while it might keep you safer, it also keeps people out. And one of the strategies that I see as a coach is isolation. And especially with what's going on in the world today, people are more isolated than ever. And it does immense harm to our mental health. Their mental health is so important, and there's some key ingredients that we absolutely need in order to have mental health. We need to eat right. Physical health, mental health, interdependent. We need to eat right, sleep right. We need to exercise, and we need to socialize, and we need to have a purpose. We need to wake up in the morning and feel like we have a purpose and that we can provide value to the world. And with that subpersonality that is doing its best to protect you, it prevents you from connecting with other people. And even more so than that, it oftentimes will just give up and not even try. But we need that social connection. We need to be with people. And so what do people replace that with? They replace it with screen time. They replace it with social media. They replace it with watching Netflix, watching movies, watching television shows, playing video games. And it's a superficial way to get that social need met. But it doesn't work. It works for a short term, but as a long-term strategy, it simply doesn't work. Even introverts, I'm a high-level introvert. I still need other people. We need other people. And I'm amazed with my clients that will work through this, if you want to call it social anxiety, or that part of their personality that's trying to protect them and isolates them, will work through it. And when they go out into the world and they socially connect with other people, it's amazing how much better they feel. It's like an antidepressant. Socializing really makes people feel good and makes them feel good about themselves, gives them a fresher perspective about life. And inevitably, if someone is really struggling with low moods, they're generally socially isolated. Not all the time, but generally they're socially isolated. And getting out of that shell or really it's like a cave, it's a wall, it's a prison that we put ourselves in order to protect ourselves, is not easy. It's not as simple as saying go out and meet new people, go out to the meetup group or whatever it is. We have to better understand where this is coming from and talk to that subpersonality and reassure it that it is going to be safe and that even though it's trying to protect us, it's actually doing us harm. And understanding the origins of it allows us not to beat ourselves up and make ourselves feel like, oh, I'm broken, I'm a loser, no one's going to love me, I'm unlovable, I'm damaged, I'm flawed. If we continue with that approach, we just what's called learned helplessness. We just learn to be helpless. We don't even bother trying because what's the point? If you're damaged, flawed, and all these other things, there's no point in putting yourself in situations where you might get rejected and might be socially awkward. There's no point in it. So what we want to do is realize, oh my God, I'm not damaged. my subpersonality is just trying to protect me. And then make inroads in showing that subpersonality. Oh, it's almost like a different person, reassuring that different part of our being that it is going to be okay. And you start very small. You start with little small things and you go, oh, that wasn't so bad and I'm safe. And then you can gradually, this is what I do in life coaching, is I'll gradually will step it up with a new social stretch or a new social challenge. And people like, oh my God, I can do this and nothing catastrophic. And it reassures our subpersonality that the coast is clear. Things are going to be safe. And then it's more motivated to go out into the world and develop those deep, meaningful social connections that we can't get sitting in front of a screen. Now, some of us have personality flaws or characteristics that we just don't blend in good or well with other people. We're just different. We don't think like other people. We don't act like the masses. We don't talk like them. We might be socially awkward, and that's okay. What you want to do is find kindred spirits. Find people that will accept you for who you are, and maybe they're also black sheep. There's similarities there that you are not going to feel so judged. And some of my clients will go to like a before everything happened, some meetup groups where it's like playing a board game. Or I used to go to meetup groups where we're going hiking. And it's a safe environment where there's not so much pressure to socialize and to interact and perform, basically. It's around the hike. It's around the game that you're playing. And that alleviates a lot of the pressure. And you have something else to connect with people. The other thing that I work with my clients on is being authentic in social situations, because one of the reasons we don't like people that are socially awkward or apprehensive is because they feel like they have to perform. They don't like socializing because they have to feel like they're on. And nobody likes that feeling like I have to be on, I have to make the person laugh, I have to be interesting, I have to be engaging. And another thing that will help set you free from that is just allowing yourself to mess up, allowing yourself to fail, allowing yourself to be judged. And you work your way up to this. You don't start overnight. Allowing to say things that are awkward. If you give yourself permission for that, it takes so much of the pressure off, because then you can be more organic and you can be more natural, and you don't feel like you have to shape your personality based on what others expect of you, because that really is suffocating and squeezes out our inner confidence. And there's no more greater joy and the thrill of doing something that you're afraid of than going out and making yourself uncomfortable in social situations. Again, starting small. But if you understand that the whole theme of this video is, let's not just look at the symptoms. Let's look at the underlying causes that have created symptoms or a life that we don't like, that doesn't fulfill us. And if you peel the onion and you get down to the core, you understand, oh my God, I am doing these things for a purpose. My subpersonality is doing these things for a purpose. My subpersonality is going to the cupboard for the junk food because my brain releases serotonin when I eat carbohydrates or sugar, and it makes me better cope with my stress. Or when growing up, when things were difficult, we used food as a form of dealing with life. Or that was the way somebody showed me, my parents showed me that they love me, is by giving me food. There's so many underlying reasons for why we do what we do. And it's really nice to have a life coach or a therapist help you navigate these types of life situations and better understand what's going on here. Why am I continually struggling with these things that are so important to me? And when you understand it, it's like peeling the veil off. And then when you have someone to help navigate how to overcome these things, you really feel like you're free. You're set free. The chains and shackles have been cut, and you can pursue the life that you want. Yeah, that's about it. So hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please like and subscribe. I offer very affordable life coaching. Just send me an email. The first consultation is completely free. The first session is 50% off, and after that it's extremely affordable. And I even have students that do life coaching, and everybody benefits from life coaching. A lot of people think they need to wait until there's a problem in their life to do life coaching. It's even if your life is going well, it's amazing the value that it can provide. And there's also no obligation. It's just session by session. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. And as always, I read all your comments and appreciate all your comments. And yeah, let's make it a great 2021. Until next time, bye-bye.